Hello and welcome to my NE guide for the video game Black Souls. NE is a rather obscure ending which is really a pain in the ass to get because of its one challenge gimmick. You cannot touch a single bonfire throughout the whole game. You can't light any of them, you can't fast travel, none of that. While this is going to be an NE guide, it's also going to have some helpful tips for just the game in general. First thing you're going to do is get the Master Key from Alice and defeat Drake Kaiser in the tutorial. It's not that hard, you just need to be avoiding or parrying his attacks before his AP meter fills up. And just time your attacks in general. Won't be too hard. This will get you the Drake Sword, it's good. The first two problems of this challenge are obvious. You can't rest at a bonfire, which means no healing and no fast traveling. And also, all damage you take is permanent unless you die. So you're going to have to manage your MP very carefully. First thing you want to do is going to go up and grab the 5 homeward bone dust next to the death statue. Then you're going to go to the Graveyard Town Elixir because we need to get some items. Wander around the Graveyard Town Elixir with the Master Key you get from Alice and get the 2 rings, Ring of the Edge and Ring of the Ring God. This is going to give you 50 speed and 50 attack, which is pretty much all you need for the next fight, considering you have the Drake Sword. Before we leave the town elixir, we need to go to the Tainted Bog and loot the area as much as you can. And before you leave this place, go grab Frog Princess Covenant. The earlier you get this, the better, because you're going to lose levels. Once you're done with that, warp back and sell all the colored souls you have. Never use them, just sell them. And you should be able to get yourself back to power. Next, we're going to go to Behemoth Ranch. In this little shack is the Musicians of Bremet. All you need to do is spam Dragon Shockwave and you should be fine considering you have a high enough level and you have the rings we got earlier. With Hidden Body, unfortunately we really can't use it because MP, as I said, is a scarce resource, but it's good to have for later. Continuing through Behemoth Ranch, we're actually going to the mines. On the way, I'm going to quickly explain how companions work. For NE in particular, companions aren't really necessary, for reasons we'll understand later, but if you want to recruit them, you could do it. But I would really emphasize that the best companion you should be leveling up is Leaf, because Leaf is going to be the most important companion for ending E. Make your way through the mines until you get to the dying soldier next to the bonfire. Don't light the bonfire, as you remember this is an NE run, you can't light any of them. Kill the guy, I mean saving him's not really all that worth it, and then bone dust out. Well, you should have enough mats to get your Drake Sword to about +3, +4 maybe, if you found some extra ore chunks. And if you can only get it to +2, skill issue, you should have explored more. With this, we should now be ready to go up through the Forest of Abandon. We're going to go all the way to Old Rottenburg. On the way, we can get Soul Discharge from Dorothy, and other stuff, like killing bosses for more souls, level up Leaf, yada yada yada. In the Old Rottenburg, it's important we have MP at this point to cast Hidden Body. In this place, we're going to get 2 important items. The Ring of the White Crow, which is a bigger increase to speed, and Raise 2, which is just raised but better and also free. And also, the third item, I kind of forgot was here. Ore Slab. Yes, that's right, there's an ore slab in this town. Grab it. And at the earliest possible convenience, upgrade your Drake Sword to +5. And that should be your weapon for the remainder of the run. You don't really need anything else, to be honest. You don't want to leave just yet. You do want to go to Fort Ivern. What you need to do is save Aizu from the Knights. Another condition to getting NE is you need to get all 6 Princess Covenants. That is Rapunzel, Snow White, Little Mermaid, Frog Princess, Cinderella, and La Belle. And in order to get Cinderella's covenant, it's very obscure. Obscure even for NE. You need to save this guy Aizu from multiple bad scenarios and talk to him, otherwise he's going to die or just otherwise despawn. So, after saving Aizu, you can go on and fight the cat boss if you're strong enough, but I'd warp back if you're not. I'm just going to say this as a disclaimer, next time you enter the Graveyard Town Elixir, and I'm not going to do that for a while, but next time you do it, make sure to save Aizu from the prostitutes, otherwise he will die. We're going to do the part that's going to be a bit annoying, but we're going to have to bear with me here. First, we're going to go over to back through the mines. We're not going to go to Gothel Tower just yet. We're going to make that trip and do everything in Gothel Tower all in one journey. first, we're going to get the item outside Gothel Tower, which is the Ring of the Goddess. This gives you 5% MP regen, which is going to make it so that we can farm endlessly. With a Drake Sword plus 5, you should definitely be strong enough to take on Behemoth, and if not, summon Leaf. Remember, if you're ever having trouble, summon Leaf and make sure she's leveled up. Her soul discharge can carry. With the Ring of the Goddess, now we're going to go to Snow White's castle. Pick up Frozen Magic Bubble on the way, and also the flower from the desert. In Snow White's castle, we're going to pick up her invite and go straight to Wonderland. In Wonderland, we're just going to grind rabbits. That's all we're going to do. Have the silver ring on. Make sure you can kill all the rabbits with a single dragon shockwave, otherwise you're kind of fucked. And if you can't do that, tough, you're going to have to go level up. Anyway, I'd recommend getting at least 1,000,000 souls from this place. At least 1,000,000. This is to make sure that we are not impeded by any boss for a good while. And we're strong enough to take on even later areas of the game. Now you're going to want to get yourself up to at least level 80, and the rest you should dump into Leaf. With this power, we're going to get the final ring that should really be boosting our, power. That is Rapunzel's favorite. It gives you a bonus action and 90% physical evasion. It is busted. So we're going to take our final trip to the mines, and we're going to loot everything from Gothel's Tower in one, raid. We don't want to come back here again, because this place is annoying as fuck. While we're here, make sure to grab Providence. You might not need it, but it's good to have anyway. Buy Storm Ruler from the merchant, not because, we're being a good person, but because if you buy a Storm Ruler, he show up later in the hub world and he can sell Goddess Blood, which is a pretty useful item. Then you're going to Covenant Rapunzel, get her ring, and immediately kill her. Okay, now we're going to take our trip through Graveyard to Elixir again. Kill the two guys surrounding Aizu first. Go through the Skeleton Maze, save companions if you're doing that, and get to Atlantis. While in Atlantis, go to the Poseidon Hotel and grab Reflect Magic from the top. It's not totally necessary, but it's a good thing to have. Go to Little Mermaid, and at this point you should have Leaf high enough level so that you can feed her to the Little Mermaid. But don't worry, she'll survive. Get her Covenant and then murder her afterwards. You know the whole deal. Level up Leaf again, and then this time we're going to the Tainted Bog once more to kill Frog Princess. Also, if you're going for companions, you can recruit Miranda at this point. It shouldn't be too hard. After killing Frog Princess, it's time to do Snow White, so go make the journey all the way back to Snow White's castle, get her Covenant, then kill her after. Because another condition is that all of the Covenant arrows you make, they all have to die after. Once you've killed her, go back to Wonderland, get Leaf's ability, and if you want, do some farming, although it shouldn't be too necessary. From this point, this is very important. Go back to the Holy Forest, talk to Aizu multiple times. He should be roaming here. Now, this part is going to be by far the most annoying part of the playthrough. We're going to go all the way through the Lost Empire twice. And it's going to be annoying, so get some friends or pop on some music or something, because this journey is long. But we're almost to End E. Make sure, again, that you aren't lighting bonfires. I can't stress how important it is. If you light a single one, the run is over and you have to restart. Now, once you get to the Labelle fight, you're just going to do it as normal. Except you're going to definitely want to do Covenant with this, because it is a requirement, as I said. That favor is required. So, do it, and it's a really good ring. A 50% increase to all parameters. It should carry you through the rest of the run and prevent you from having to do any more grinding. It's also good to get Leaf's ring earlier outside of the Lost Empire, but if you haven't gotten that yet, you can just get it on your second journey back, because yeah, you're gonna make 2 journeys. Anyway, once you get over to this hallway, talk to Aizu for the final time. He'll give you an ore slab, and once you've exhausted his dialogue, you're gonna want to warp all the way back to spawn. To go to the Room of Reminiscence, wear Aizu's skin, and make the journey again. You'll find Labelle's corpse, but it's okay. You have her favor, and that's all that matters. Now that we get to Cinderella, you're going to want to enter a covenant with her to get her favor, and now we have all 6 of the Fit Princess favors. We also need to make sure all 6 of the princesses are dead. At this point, if you've been following the guide, the other 5 should be dead, so all you need to do is kill Cinderella. Once you do that, warp back to the Holy Forest, and this is where End E begins. Now, provided you haven't touched a single bonfire, there will be a flame over here in the bottom left. Touch it, and if you have met every other condition, you'll get Disc Scene. Now, with this cutscene, our final objective becomes clear. We need to stop Superman before he can use his 6 stones for evil. Or, well, his version of evil anyway. And to do that, we need to go kill Baphomet. Now, before you go on this journey, make sure you have everything you need, because you're not gonna be coming back. This is the final journey. Make your way through the caves of darkness, get through the dragon, and finally arrive at Baphomet. This fight can be annoying, but provided you're strong enough, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Now, again, provided you've done everything, all the conditions right at this point, you'll be teleported to the secret place. Now prepare for the final battle, the End E battle. We're gonna go up the stairs and we're gonna find Leaf before a fog gate. Talk to Leaf, she'll yap, it's not really that important. And then we're gonna go through the gate and enter the next room. And we're gonna encounter Superman. And I'll let this cutscene play out. Okay, Phase 1 is extremely easy, and just because you can get past Phase 1 doesn't mean you can get past Phase 2. So, the best thing to do during this phase is to get yourself buffed up. Superman during this part won't even be using the Infinity Stones, he'll just be doing his regular attacks. So, nothing to worry about. However, once you get to Phase 2, issues will begin. But first, Leaf will get a power-up. With Leaf's power up, the first part of Phase 2 should be really easy. And in fact, you can actually use this power up to cheese the rest of the phase. However, quick warning, once Superman goes below 25% HP, or a bit higher, I don't actually remember, he'll do a devastating attack called the Infinity Beam and erase Leaf out of existence. Once this attack is used, Leaf will no longer be with you for the fight, so you need to make sure that you are buffed and ready for the rest of the fight. Because he could spam some abilities that might make it definitely very hard. This phase has some attacks that are problem children, but as long as you know what you're doing, they shouldn't be too much of an issue. His Mind Stone attack can be a big bother, so use Fairy Brilliance at any point during the fight and make sure that buff stays on. That way you won't be put to sleep. His Soul Stone attack is just a problem child, and you kind of just have to hope it doesn't happen. But the moral of the story is to just stay at as much HP as possible to make sure you don't go down to it. With all this, you should be able to defeat the final boss, Superman, and get End E, which I'll let the rest play out in complete silence for your viewing pleasure. Thanks for watching. I hope this video was helpful and informative. And have a good day or night.